So I'm a kid that grew up in California, and I had a wonderful time enjoying Mexican cuisine throughout the state. And being in close proximity in Mexico, I also had the privilege of dining in some of the great cities in Mexico. And I've probably been from one end of the Baja Peninsula to the other. And when you love Mexican cuisine, you search for that wherever you live. And having moved here several years ago, I found some very, very good Mexican restaurants. But once I've landed on Santiago, I found a place that was evocative and that reminded me of the cafes that I enjoyed so much in Mexico City and Guadalajara. You know, Mexican cuisine is all about using authentic tools in the kitchen and authentic techniques. And if you come to Santiago, you're really going to see that that shines through. This is really what I would call a love letter by Chef Billy Batista, who is also a huge fan of Mexican cuisine. If you don't know the food scene here, he started Billy's Smokehouse. He also has La Manita, which has what I would call very good California Mexican cuisine. But Santiago from him is his love letter to this cuisine. And he brought in Chef Mauricio and his manager Maria. And if you want to really experience the authentic cuisine of Mexico and have a great time.
I'm going to explain you a little bit of how we do the nixtamal or the corn dough for Santiago. It's very important to tell you the difference about the corn. So we have this white corn that has more starch and this yellow corn with less starch. We have to mix them and then boil it and cook it with this limestone that we call in Mexico cal. We cook it for at least like 1 hour and a half or until the corn is like half cooked. The importance of this process is for sterilization, for the texture, also for the vitamin B3 to get it available. That's it. After this, we wash it and we grind it in the corn mill. So this is our mill. Here we ground our corn to make the masa. And these are the stones that we use inside. This is a volcanic stone. It's from Mexico. And it's important to show you here the shape of the stone. This is important because according to how you shape the stone is the result of your masa. You want a masa that is airy and nice, with nice texture. So here we have this clay comal. This is from the south of Mexico, from Oaxaca. And it's white because we use limestone wash on it. First, it's wet and then we dry it over the fire. And then it becomes like a non-stick material for the tortillas. Here we have the carnitas. It's a typical dish from Mexico. We try to use all kinds of parts of the pork. We basically confit the pork. Here in Santiago, we like to add some beer and we make tacos. Today I'm going to explain you the mole manchamanteles. That is one of the most important that we have in Santiago. Some moles can be very complicated dishes because of the amount of ingredients. We start from the chilies. We use different kind of dry chilies, as you can see here. This is the pichifajeng, this is Thai, but these three are Mexican. This we call guajillo chili, this is chile ancho, and this is a morita chili, which is quite smoky and spicy. Then we have the spices section. We use always like allspice, some Mexican cinnamon that is very different from the Thai cinnamon. Here is some Thai cinnamon. We have some Mexican, some clove, pepper, cumin, thyme, and bay leaves. And then the mole manchamanteles, it's important because we use different kind of fresh fruits, and it can be seasonal fresh fruits. Here we have the pineapple, some pear, some orange, some apples, and of course the tomatoes. Tomatoes are very important in Mexican food. This is a heirloom tomato, organic from Chiang Rai. And then is the dry fruit sections and some nuts. We use pecans, cashew nuts, pine nuts, some dry mango too as well, some cranberries and dry prunes. And then always some onion and garlic. So we blend all this together. We make two kind of paste. One paste it will make with all these ingredients, and the other paste with all the dry chilies and the spices. We cook a mole for a long time. It depends, but probably maybe 2 days will take the whole process.
So every great restaurant, and I think Santiago is a great restaurant, is based on the quality of its people. And I'm so happy to be joined by Chef Mauricio Rosales Jungsen, and we're going to talk about the Jungsen in just a moment, because that is not a traditional Mexican name. And our general manager of Santiago, Murillo, did I get that right? Marte. So welcome. I know that both of you grew up in the restaurant business. I think it would be helpful for people to understand where in Mexico you came from, because there's a lot of regional cuisines, and sort of how you grew up in the restaurant business. Let's start with Chef Mauricio. Where did you grow up, and where does the Jungsen come from?
Okay, so I'm from Mexico City. My mom's family, they are from Sinaloa. And in Sinaloa, there's a big community, a Chinese community, let's say. So my great-grandfather traveled from the south of China to San Francisco, and then he crossed the border to Mexico. So our last name, it was just Ung, and then when he registered, when he passed the border, he added the son, like son of Ung. And my grandfather is still cooking sometimes Chinese food. So,
Wonderful, wonderful.
yeah.
And who gave you the passion for cooking? Who in your family was your inspiration?
Everyone, like, I mean, my grandfather cooks, my mom cooks, my grandma cooks. But I think when I was a kid, where I spent most of the time was with my grandmother, cooking desserts, yeah.
Well, Mexico City, I love Mexico City. We love the cafe society there. There's so many wonderful neighborhoods. Maria, you're from a little bit away from the big city. So where did you grow up, and what was your influence in the restaurant business?
Restaurant business. I'm from a city called San Luis Potosí, so that's in between Monterrey and Mexico City. It's a very desertic area in the northern Mexico side. And my mom's from there, my dad's from Mexico City, so it's kind of a blend. And I mean, the main topic in my family has always been food. So when we gather together, we start talking food before eating. We talk food while we're eating, and we talk food after eating. Yes. And that's like the thing, talking about food. And because of that, I guess a lot of my family is restaurant owner, my mom included there. So somehow I grew up surrounded by food and restaurants since.
And I hear from both of you family, and there's a great tradition of eating together, cooking together. I mean, it really brings families together throughout the country, and this is something common I hear all the time. But how did you end up working with Chef Billy Batista and coming to Santiago and making this a project for yourself?
Before I came to Bangkok, I was living in Germany, and I was feeling kind of homesick. So the first time, through a common friend, he took me to Santiago, and I tasted the food, and it was like being home. I just fell in love with the food. I felt home immediately. And after that, I met Mauricio, and we got along super good. And I talked to Billy and I asked them to work here, and that's about it.
So this has become your family, your Mexican family outside of Mexico. Would that be fair to say?
Yes.
Okay. And you are 15,700 kilometers away from home.
Yeah.
17 and a half hours by plane. What brought a great chef from Mexico to Bangkok?
I will say my friends. I met Villano when I was in university in the last year. I came to practice to La Monita.
And La Manita, just for everyone, Billy has Billy's Smokehouse and La Manita, which I consider more of a California-style Mexican restaurant. I consider this very authentic. Like this could be, you could locate this in a cafe in Mexico City, but it's delicious. I enjoy that place as well. So you started at La Monita?
And the rest is just history. Like we just click very well. They love food the same as I do. That's it. It's just a passion for food, for Mexican food, especially. Billy loves Mexican food. Kuno the same. So that was all the.
So you come to Santiago, and what is the vision for this restaurant? It's clearly something different or elevated from, there's very good Mexican food throughout the city, but this is something different.
I don't know, like this project was not, it was just for having fun and just create good food, the food that we like to eat. And the business part came after.
Okay. So the first is a passion for the food. But I liked what you said, what you've told me about when you think a dish is ready to be served to your clientele. And when is that? When you taste it, what does it evoke for you?
My childhood. Yeah, I'm adding to what Mao says is what I admire about his cooking is that he makes everything from scratch, like within local ingredients and very few imported ingredients. He manages to reproduce all the flavors, all the Mexican flavors, like as if you were in Mexico. So every bite you have, it would just take you immediately to Mexico. I mean, if you know Mexico, if you've been there. If not, you just have a great moment in your mouth happening.
You just know it tastes great.
Yeah.
And having spent a lot of time in Mexico City and Guadalajara and the Baja Peninsula, I can tell you, that's why I keep coming back. Is it just I'm back at a cafe in Mexico City, and that's what it tastes like. So let's talk about sourcing here, because my wife happens to come from Banpot, which means the village of corn. Clearly, corn is such a fundamental ingredient, and you grind your own masa here, which is unusual. How did you source corn? Because I would imagine the corn here is a little bit different than Mexico. How did you get that authentic tortilla taste?
Well, we mix different kinds of corn, local corns. That is very important. We have a friend that helps us. She has a farm, and basically she find it in different places and she just send it. She has a team that select the big grains for us, and then when I have it, I usually mix the caupot cauniao, or the white corn, with the yellow corn.
Yes.
And then I think the flavor and the texture comes exactly as I want it, like with that Mexican.
So Anthony Bourdain famously interviewed the sushi master, Chef Yoshuda, and he surprised me because Bourdain asked, what's, in a piece of sushi, how much of the flavor is the rice versus the fish? And the sushi master said 90% rice, 10% fish. I thought that was shocking. So for you, how much is the tortilla versus what goes into the tortilla?
Oh my God, just the tortilla itself,
Yeah.
it can be a taco.
Yeah.
You can just put some salt, roll it up, and eat it, and that's a taco.
Yeah.
So that's like that's very important. You cannot have a good taco without a good tortilla.
So it's the foundation for it.
It's a foundation. So it can be 100% if we have to go to percentage, or yeah, I don't know. Like actually, one of my favorite tacos is the avocado taco. It's just simple, but when it's a good tortilla, you don't need anything else.
But okay, so and by the way, you mentioned avocado. I'm sorry, I'm going to embarrass you a little bit. Your guacamole is at another level. I would come here, and if I always order the guacamole. And you play around with the spice levels too, and you can customize that for people's taste, right?
Yes.
I would imagine the Thais
Yeah,
will
they
order
do
that.
like spicy.
They do like the spicy, yes. So let's talk about some of the other ingredients. The other thing that I really love about your food is the mole. And the mole is this rich, dark, unctuous, multi-ingredient sort of magic that comes together over a number of days. Where do you source the ingredients here? Do you go to the Talat Nat, the local Thai markets here, or do you also bring things in from Mexico?
We use local ingredients, Some of them are from Chiang Mai, others from the locals markets from Bangkok. But the most important thing is the dry chilies. We use the pichifaheng, but the rest are the Mexican chilies. We import them from Mexico to San Francisco and San Francisco to here. So it's a long
They
way.
have a long journey.
Have a long journey. Yeah, it takes like 3 months.
Yeah, 3 months on the boat, right? Yeah, we've shipped things over from Los Angeles. It takes a while, but it's worth it, right? At the end of the day, you have to have those chili notes.
Yeah, I will say the chili is the soul of the mole. The chili, the corn, and the cocoa beans are also very important, which use like local Thai chocolate is food too as well.
I love Thai chai. So we're in the third floor dining room and bar. We'll talk about the bar in a minute because you do have a lot of fun here, and I want to present that to folks. But downstairs you have a omakase style arrangement, and you have a chef's tasting menu. Talk a little bit about how you come up with a menu and how often it changes. So if somebody wants to come in and experience that tasting menu, they can know what to expect.
Yeah, I mean, the omakase is where we can have more fun experimenting some things. It's still, the root is still very Mexican, like the inspiration comes from Mexico. And then the rest is everything from the season that is available. The good ingredients is the base of everything. So I love the omakase. We play around, we have different recipes. And what I like it too is that we just change it whenever we want it. Like, we just change it whenever we want it. We don't go with a season exactly. It just depends on our mood sometimes, or like if people like it, then we keep it longer. And also, we have to be in that state of mind where we can create comfortably and like just come with a new menu, because otherwise it won't come out as good.
Well, I have to tell you that I think if you want to experience this restaurant, coming in and putting, the diner in your good hands, and then coming in from time to time, as you say, you are really wedded to finding out what's fresh and flavorful at the moment, and then using that creatively in those dishes. That's a lot of fun. So it sounds like you really do a nationwide kind of farm to table, and then bring in only what you need to from Mexico to complete the authenticity. If I came to the upstairs, to this room, and there were 4 or 5 dishes you'd say, hey, your first time here, you must try, what would those 4 or 5 dishes be?
I will say, well, a classic thing is guacamole, as you said before, because I love guacamole as well.
Have to. That's a must-have, yes.
But there's another dish in the appetizer section that I will say is the scallop esquites. The esquites are like this corn, again, that we cook with some dry chili that we call tajin. It's our homemade tajin. It's just delicious. It just comes with this like buttery jalapeno sauce on the bottom, and the scallop is just the extra. For me, it's sometimes not needed. Just with the corn and that sauce is enough. But definitely it's one of my favorite. And then from the tacos, I will say the Carnitas taco.
From your childhood?
Yeah, Carnitas taco is like, I don't know, like, I just remember when I go to the market with my mom and there's a stand of carnitas. And it's so good. Yeah. It's just like, that's exactly.
Maria's getting wistful here and hungry, I can tell. Yes.
Every time I taste that taco, when I was creating it, I was like having in mind that flavor. Yeah. And once I got it, it was like, oh my God, this is delicious. Yeah, it's like, okay, now this is the taco. So we have others that are really good, but that's my favorite. And then, of course, the mole, any kind of mole, I love to cook. The mole manchamanteles, it's my favorite, let's say, for Santiago, because that's exactly how it blends Mexico and Thailand. Like all the local seasonal fruits, but also like with other ingredients that I can play in the mole. It's just, it's really good for Mexicans and Thai.
Thank you, Chef. I know you've spent a lot of time today showing us your kitchen and your craft. I know you've got a lot of authentic kitchen tools downstairs that you've brought in from Mexico, and you use a lot of traditional techniques. And I just tell you that the result is I'm back in Mexico City or Guadalajara. So thank you for that. But Santiago is also fun. You have a bar here, and we'll talk to Maria about the front of the house here a bit. I notice you have Mezcal and you have Tequila. How many different makers do you have represented in your bar here?
That's a good question. And it changes every time.
So you're constantly bringing in new bottles.
Yes, because I mean we have some bottle sourced in Thailand, like from people that bring alcohol to Thailand, that are allowed to bring alcohol to Thailand.
Yes.
But we also have some very exclusive brands that come directly from Mexico. So it changes a lot.
And what's the difference for folks who don't know, a lot of folks do, between Mezcal and Tequila?
The main difference is, well, there are two main differences. The agave, which is made of, Tequila is only made of blue agave, and it has to be done in the region of Tequila. If not, it cannot be called Tequila.
It's like champagne.
Exactly.
Okay.
And Mezcal, it comes from a different variety of agaves and different regions in Mexico. And the cooking process is different. The Mezcal is smoked and the Tequila is not. So that's like the main difference. And then if you can go with specifics, there are a lot of other differences.
Now, the other thing I mentioned, and you do have a full bar here. It's not just Mezcal and Tequila and margaritas. So, and people, you do have, I'm old school. I go for my Coronas or my Modelo. I think Mexican lagers are some of the best in the world. But the other thing I noticed is you have private lockers here. Tell me about that.
That's for our regular customers.
Okay.
So if they want to bring their bottle if they buy a bottle here and they don't finish it, they can keep it here. And next time they come, they just take it out. They drink 2 or 3 more shots or as much as they want, and they keep it inside again. And that's how it works.
That's so lovely. So your regulars can come, they can bring their families, they can bring friends, break out their private bottle stock, have a great time, enjoy the wonderful cuisine, and lock it up and go home again.
Usually the bottles are empty at the end of the night. Nothing to keep in the locker. But
Right.
Yeah.
So, right, which is a good problem to have.
It's a good problem.
So you grew up and you had family that cooked desserts. I have a sweet tooth. So what's your favorite dessert here?
For sure the Tres Leches cake or the 3 meal cake. It's just a classic. There's no way that you're Mexican and you haven't had that cake in your life. It's like the classic for your birthday. It comes in different styles, different recipes, but it's always so delicious. I don't know. I love it.
It's fantastic.
I just like it.
And I'm going to make one request, and I'm going to put you on the spot on camera, but your churros, and I've had churros all over California and Mexico, were one of the best things I put in my mouth. And you also served it, I thought, with a huckleberry or some kind of berry compote.
Yeah. It was a mulberry.
Mulberry compote.
Like local, yeah.
If you ever bring it back, I'm going to leave you my card. You have to call me, and I will bring my entire office here and come back for your churros. But your Tres Leches cake is delicious. So thank you. Thank you both for your time. Thank you for creating. I've been all over Southeast Asia. I, as a former California kid who spent a lot of time in Mexico, craved authentic Mexico. So thank you for bringing that to Bangkok and to this part of the world. Really appreciate it.
No, thank you for this time. And it's awesome to have you here. Yeah. Santiago exists for people like you that just love Mexican food.
That's true.
Well, thank you very much. For the camera, this is Maya, one of our wonderful Thai attorneys who helps our expats settle into Thailand. But Maya also went to school in California briefly and enjoyed some of the Mexican cuisine there. So I've invited her to join us. So why don't we just take a bite of each and you can tell us what we're enjoying here.
Yes, please. So first I'm gonna start with the esquites. It's this corn that we have with the scallop. On the bottom there's some of this sauce with jalapeno.
So this is the appetizer you love here.
Yes. Yes.
And if I can serve you, that would be fine. Or actually, you can serve yourself. I don't need to do that. But so this is a scallop that you source locally, yes?
No, actually, this one is from Japan.
A Japanese scallop with maize, and then what is the sauce?
It's made with jalapeno.
So a bit spicy.
A bit spicy and some butter too.
And butter.
Maybe.
Oh, the heat is very nice. But you have a sweetness to the corn. It's just a lovely dish. And then the scallops are very soft and very tender. What would you like us to try next?
I will say the taco, maybe the tuna taco, the one that you have right there.
This is tuna.
It's tuna.
Okay.
It's a yellowfin tuna.
Also from Japan?
No, this is from Indonesia. Actually.
Okay. So you're farm to table in Thailand, and then you source your proteins from all over the world? Would that be fair to say? Okay.
Exactly. It depends. We do have tuna in Mexico, but it's super hard to get like the Mexican tuna. Actually,
Right.
You know?
I know a lot of friends who go down to Mexico and they go yellowtail fishing. And they'll do like a 2 right? But okay.
And Japan is still the bluefin tuna too from Mexico. But well, this taco actually, the creator was Billy. He loves tuna as well.
Smoky,
Smoky. We smoke it with hickory wood.
a little bit of heat. And the avocado into creaminess. It's just so delicious. It's just, and then you have a pickled vegetable on here?
Pickled vegetables on top just to cut the richness of the.
And
of
is
the
that
tuna.
pickled cab? What is the pickled vegetable?
It's cabbage and carrot.
Sorry.
And we use the escabeche, like the jalapeno vinegar. That's
So
like
good.
to pickle it.
I could have 3 or 4. I can make that a meal. All right. What would you like us to try next?
The Carnitas taco for sure.
So this is from your childhood.
Yes, that one is the taco.
So may I put lime?
Yes,
Manao?
please go.
Okay.
I mean,
You okay with Manao? Always. All right. I don't want to mess up your childhood, taste flavor profile here. Maya, you keep that one. So we have the crunchiness here.
yes.
The carnitas are wonderful. But I do want to say that the tortilla, the corn, that just bold corn flavor still comes through with the meat and the crunchiness. This is Mexico. What would you like us to try next?
The dog enchilada.
The dog enchilada.
So this has a mole.
It's similar to mole. It looks like a mole, but it's not a mole. It's
So you
just
tricked me.
an enchilada sauce, yeah. It's a family recipe. My grandma used to make it. We used to have, my grandfather used to have a lot of cows, and we have always a lot of cream. So my grandma make this creamy sauce with the dried chilies, the guajillo chili.
With the dairy cows on your property.
Yeah, so
Doesn't get any more farm to
it
table
was
than that.
really good.
Now, this looks like, and I don't like the taquitos I used to have as a kid in California, but do I eat them with my hand? Would that be rude, or should I do knife and fork?
Yeah, knife and fork
Knife and
for
fork,
this
okay.
one. Yeah, it can get very messy. So
It's not about rudeness.
All right, a little more sauce. So this is grandma's recipe.
this is grandma's recipe.
And this is beef?
No, it's duck.
Duck? Bet?
Yeah, I mean grandma didn't use duck, just chicken, but here we use duck. It's
A little bit of sweetness. Creaminess, right? Yes, isn't that amazing? A little bit of heat, again, on the back. Is that jalapeno or is that
no,
habanero?
this is the guajillo.
Guajillo.
It's a dry chili. It's a guajillo chili.
That is fabulous.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites.
And the duck gives you a little more substance than I think chicken would. right? It gives you a depth of flavor that I don't. All right.
So the main dish, the pork chop, this is Kurobuta pork chop. The main thing here is the fat. The fat is so good, and it mixes so well with the mole. So the mole is this sauce that is on the plate. That is not exactly a sauce. Actually, that's the main dish itself. In some places in Mexico, the mole is everything, and you just eat it with your tortillas. Moles before they were used also like for special occasions like weddings or like birthdays or like the party or the celebration of the town. Yeah, like
Quinceañera.
Quinceañera, yeah, it can be too. So moles are all over Mexico, and depending on the region, the kind of mole.
Well, I can reach, I'm going to get a fattier piece down here, and I'm going to make sure that I'm getting a lot of the mole. And again, this is a 2-day,
Yeah,
20 ingredient process, correct?
at least it will take like 2 days. We always keep cooking it, so it changes the flavor and the color. And you have some tortillas here too, if you want.
Chef, that is beautiful food. And for anyone who's been to Mexico and you come here, you'll know instantly. If you've never been to Mexico, we'll save you a trip of 15,700 kilometers, and you can come here and enjoy. Every dish had very distinct flavor, a little bit of heat, and a depth of flavor that once the camera is off, I'm going to keep eating for about another hour. Don't tell anybody. This is more carnitas.
That's more carnitas.
More carnitas. So I'm going to let the rest of the crew and our lovely camera people come in here.
Yeah.
Chef, thank you. Kun Maria, thank you very much. This has been another delightful experience at Santiago.
Thank you so much.